Hi, it's Robin Sharma, author of the 5am Club, and I'm super happy to welcome you to this mastery session. This one is called The Number One Belief of Exceptionally Influential People. Influence is not only for politicians or global leaders. Every single day when we walk out into the world, we can have influence on the world around us. If you are a manager in an organization, you influence the people that you work with. If you're a mother or a father, you influence your children. If you're a police officer or a teacher, you influence the people around you. If you're a human being on planet Earth, every day when you walk out in the world, you have the opportunity and even the responsibility to radiate positivity, possibility, and all good things, including mastery. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with you the number one belief of the people who have the greatest impact that I've had the opportunity to work with. And these people all had one mindset or core truth that they run every day in common. And it is simply this: you are only as good as your last performance. I remember reading about one of the icons from Hollywood, and he said it. He said, "I'm only as good as my last picture." It's so easy to sort of hang your hat on something you did a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Maybe, the great musicians, they all have that in common. It's not like, oh, I did this album 40 years ago and I'm sort of still dining out on that great masterpiece. The great ones, the people of great influence, the people of great creativity, they understand that you're only as great as your last performance. The elite athletes I've mentored, this is how they see it. They say, last year's championship performance is this year's starting point. So what I wanted to do for you in this episode is I wanted to deconstruct this idea of being only as good as your last performance into 5 core elements that you can then reflect on and contemplate on and journal about and meditate on, so you build greater awareness that will give you the greater daily choices that will deliver better daily results. The first part of the deconstruction is simply this: satisfaction breeds stagnation. So look, we all want to be satisfied. We all want to be happy. We all want to wake up every day and go through life feeling a sense of joy. But there is a great danger in being completely satisfied. When I work with the billionaires and the titans of industry and the Hollywood superstars, here's what I notice: they're never satisfied. Now, sometimes if you don't manage that unsatisfaction, you're going to be a very unhappy person. I'm just reporting on reality. A lot of the true titans, it's never enough. They are always dissatisfied. They always want to work their craft better. They always want to have more influence. They always want to have greater impact. They always want to grow their movement. So just remember that first element of this deconstruction. Satisfaction breeds stagnation. You want to be joyful and grateful, and yet at the same time, you never want to lose the fire in your belly to be better, to materialize more of your primal genius, to offer value to more people, and to grow the very thing that you do. The second element of this deconstruction is scary work wins. Scary work wins. One of the things that most people do every day is they repeat what they did yesterday. The way the truly influential leaders operate is very different. Each day they do something hard. Each day they hug their monsters. Each day they do something that terrifies them in a big way or maybe even in a small way. But the larger point for you to remember is simply this: it's the scary work. It's going blue ocean. It's doing the things that bring up your fears, that creates your greatest growth, and that gives you the biggest rewards. So you want to do work that scares you. You want to, if it's a project that makes you feel like you're going to fail or be laughed at, that's the project that you want to move towards. I'll give you this brain tattoo. The project that you are most resisting is the project that you want to do first. The third element of this deconstruction is to keep feeding your craft. So again, it's very easy to coast in your work. It's very easy to run the same morning routine. It's very easy to run the same daily rituals. It's very easy to show up every day and start mailing it in versus bringing it on. the most exceptional and influential people on the planet are always feeding their craft. They are always tearing down their winning formula so they can build something better. Even personally, remember, you must experience ongoing crucifixions to engage in ongoing resurrections. What do I mean by that? It's, well, the journey towards world class, the journey to maximizing who you truly are, it's a series of little deaths, isn't it? You must let go of who you were yesterday or last year, so your next level of you can see the light of day. So you always want to be feeding your craft so you get better every single day. You want to make those micro wins in your craft. You want to learn something new. You want to get new influences. You want to optimize the way that you work so that you are always bringing greater value to your marketplace. The fourth element of this deconstruction, enjoy the plateau. So George Leonard has written a wonderful book called Mastery. And in that book, Mastery, what he talks about is the journey towards being your best, the journey towards being a virtuoso is a series of cycles. There is the periods of growth, and when you make that period of growth, you will always arrive at a point of a plateau. It might be a week, it might be a month, where you sort of get bored and you feel like you're disengaged and you might not have that fire in your belly. And it's so easy to fall into the hypnosis that you are doing something wrong, or maybe you should leave your industry, or maybe, you know, your best years were behind you. I want you to remember this. World class is a series of seasons. I want you to remember this. Exceptionalism is cyclical. And so you might put out your masterwork, and then you might reach a season where you just don't have the same game. You're not as excited about learning. The whole idea of growing seems exhausting to you. Honor the plateau. Honor the season. If you look at any of the great artists, they had periods of incredible productivity and periods of incredible recovery, where they were reading or hanging out with their friends or resting or spending a lot of time in the wilderness versus in the world. And so I think if you really want to be legendary and play the long game, enjoy the plateau. Enjoy the seasons not only of productivity, but the seasons of rest, the seasons where you're enjoying life, the seasons of non-doing are equally important for you, ultimately creating a body of work that will stand the test of time, and for you to overall have growth in your career versus complacency. Fifth element of this deconstruction around the core belief of exceptional people, which is you are only as good as your last performance, is this: protect your white belt mentality at all costs. What I'm really talking about here is the profound value of humility. As you scale the heights of your greatest creativity and productivity, as you get more traction around your ambitions, as more people follow you, as people fall in love with your magic, as you raise your game, here's what's going to happen. There is a brainwashing process and a heart-washing process and a great human seduction that happens to almost every creative person and every leader. You fall in love with yourself. You actually believe your own media releases. And it happens to so many people, and they lose their humility. And it's so profound. One of my favorite stories is there was a Roman slave in the ancient days named Honoriga, and his job was simply this: to stand behind the military commander called the dux and whisper into the ear of the military commander, memento homo, memento homo, memento homo, which means remember you're just a man. In other words, remember you're only human. It is such a great pull when you start to move to higher grades of victory to Stop doing the very things that made you successful, to stop learning, to stop going to art galleries, to stop having a mentor, to stop getting up early, to stop taking care of your health set, to stop polishing your beliefs. It is so easy to fall in love with success, and that's why being successful is actually very dangerous, because you might stop doing the very things that brought your magic to the world. So the fifth element of this deconstruction, if you want to continually be upgrading your performances, is to never lose that white belt mentality. Never think you're a master. Actually, one thing about masters, they never think they are masters. And the moment you think you are a master, the moment you think you're the most important person in every room that you're in, the moment that your ego screams more loudly than your hunger to grow and represent mastery, is the beginning of your descent into obsolescence and irrelevance. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me in this mastery session. I take so much time to handcraft them so that you receive great value and inspiration and encouragement and even love. If you'd like to go deeper with me and you've liked what you've learned in this episode, here's what you want to do. Number one, read my latest book, The 5 a.m. Club. I wrote it so it's a manifesto for your mastery. And it's currently one of the best-selling books in the world right now for a reason. It truly works. It truly helps you upgrade your creativity, your productivity, your performance, your prosperity, and your overall life. Now, of course, the book isn't going to work, and all the models I share in it and the tactics and all of the different letters and all the different modules, none of that is going to work for someone who's not going to do any work. So only read The 5 a.m. Club if you're ready to transform and you're willing to do some work for your greatest life. Second thing, people for years have been asking me, Robin, would you do some kind of an online mentoring system to teach us all the things we learn in the mastery sessions and in all of your books? You know, we're not a billionaire, so we might not have the budget to have you one-on-one coach us, but is there some way we can receive some digital coaching that will help us upgrade our productivity, upgrade our creativity, optimize our four interior empires of mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set? Some kind of coaching that will help us grow our careers, lead our fields, dominate our domains, and also live a beautiful, soulful life that will fill us with happiness and joy at the end. And so the answer is yes. It's called the Circle of Legends, and it's one of the best things that I do. The Circle of Legends is my world-class mentoring program where I teach you the same information, the same models and frameworks and daily tactics that I teach to the billionaires, the NBA stars, the titans of industry, the leaders in sciences and arts. You get to learn this advanced information that so few people learn in the Circle of Legends. If you're really ready to start playing at heroic right now and maximize your performance and optimize the way you live out the rest of your life, so you not only live a beautiful life, but you make your mark on the world, then I'd love to help you. Head over to thecircleoflegends.com, thecircleoflegends.com, and claim your membership so we start our work together today. And finally, if you found value in this mastery session, here's what I would so appreciate you doing. Within 24 hours, please share this episode with 3 of your friends so together we build more leaders, we inspire more people, and we make our planet and world a better place. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next episode. Hi, this is Robin Sharma. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast and definitely go over to robinsharma.com for more information, tools, and resources on mastery, elite performance, and living a world-class life.